Welcome back, everyone. This is Frank, Whiskey Charlie Zero Oscar. This is Winter Field Day 2025, and I've been in the field now for, let's see, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours, and I'm doing pretty well considering the situation that I'm in right now, and I'll talk about that a little bit. I got 74 contacts. They're all phone contacts. Oregon, New Mexico, North Texas, Colorado, British Columbia, East Washington State, Arizona, West Washington State, Colorado, Utah, and let's see, Arizona, Oklahoma, West Texas, LAX, San Francisco, SV. I'm not sure what the V stands for. Maybe I'll remember. Arkansas, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Idaho, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan. Wow. And then British Columbia, Wait a minute, NE. What's NE? Maybe I'll remember. Colorado, Nebraska, probably, right? Okay. Not bad for 74 contacts. Usually in Winter Field Day, I get less than 100, I think. And right now I'm 74 and I'm barely 3.5 hours into it. I'm using a Yaesu FT FT857D at 90 watts, and radio's doing very well. I need headphones. There's no way, if I didn't have headphones, there's no way I can hear the individuals coming back to me. There's an S8, S9 noise floor, which is horrible. I put IPO on there and I still don't go down at all. So I'm not sure where that noise is coming from. Probably from the atmosphere. I wish it was much lower, but for now it's not going anywhere. It's going to rain. It's been sprinkling a little bit. I'm using a quarter wave ground plane antenna. I'm in the 20-meter band, and that's doing very nicely at the moment. What I want to do now is I'm going to do what do you call that? JS8, right? Let's see. I think that's what it is. JS8 call. That's what I'm going to do next. No FT8, no FT4. So that's that kind of sucks. But that's the way it is for Winter Field Day. I want to do that for 20 meters. I want to see if I can get some contacts, and maybe I can double my score, because my score right now is 74, and the different bands and different modes, I think, will give me a little bit more. Like I said, I'm really excited. And then probably I'm going to put Dr. Ed Fung's J-pole antenna, which is a leader. What is it called? Ladder line antenna. I'm going to put that up. I think I'm going to finally use the FT857D to make some contacts that are VHF, UHF instead of this little guy. Because I always use this guy and it just really gets me wound up because I can't seem to get anybody sometimes. But what's wonderful about this, it's 1.25 centimeters. What is it, the 222 or whatever, the 220 band, right? Let me see. What do they call it here on N3FJP? Yes, 222 band. This is the only thing I have for that. And so I'll try that probably in Signal Hills, much higher elevation, probably tomorrow, or maybe somebody today I can capture that. So what I'm going to do throughout the day, I'll have more information. Like I said, I'm in Carson. I might go to the beach, go over there, see what's maybe I have a different ground plane. Like I said, it's a sprinklings. It's going to be raining. Hopefully it does here in Southern California when we need some rain for the fires. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours now, and I got 84 contacts, mostly on HF, but I did do some VHF at 2 meters. I think I got about 10, and on 70 centimeters, I think I got maybe 3. And then a couple of surprises. Digital, I got 2 on HF on 20 meters on JS8 call. Very challenging, very, very not easy. And then one great contact that was 2 meters SSB. There's a 2 meter SSB call. Let me see, it's called SSB calling frequency for 2 meters is 144.200. For 1.2 centimeters, 222.100, and for 70 centimeters, 432.100. I didn't get anybody there. 222.1. I don't have an ability to do SSB. So I think I've been doing great. I'm gonna have a little bit of food and just relax a little bit, but I want to break the 100 barrier within 3 hours. I think I'm gonna do 20 meters. I'm gonna stick with 20, but I still want I should do 10. And so right now I'm doing the quarter wave ground plane antenna. Is doing great. I do have a 10 meter quarter wave ground plane. I'm not sure I'm going to use it today. I have, of course, other antennas that I can utilize, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to get any more bands. I think my strategy right now is get as many people on 20, and then tomorrow utilize different bands, maybe modes, and grab those bonus points. Last year I think I was in the top, I don't it's very hard to say. I was thinking of Field Day. I think Field Day I was in the top 20. The year before that I was in the top 6. So last year was really disappointing. So this antenna is really, really doing a great job. I'm using the FT857D. I feel more and more that I want to bring out my FTDX1. FTDX10. And bring that bad boy and really see if I can make a difference with that. But other than that, it's doing great. It's about 3 o'clock. We still have a lot more. We still have 23 hours still. About 23 hours. So there's a lot to do, and I'll come back and we'll talk again. All right, bye-bye. All right, I have done now 100 phone contacts and 2 digital in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 hours, which is pretty good. Most of those are in the 20 meter band, and I would say 90% of them are in the 90 meter band, 20 meter band on the quarter wave ground plane antenna. This thing is rocking. This is telling me a couple of things about my other antennas. which is my diamond antenna and my screwdriver antenna, I think my ground plane needs to be worked on more. Or the band conditions are way better considering the last 4 years. So I'm not sure what is the case, but this quarter wave ground plane antenna, which is very inexpensive to make, is pennies compared to my other two antennas. Not to say that my screwdriver antenna or my other vertical is not worth the price, because I've done a lot of photo activations with it, with those two, and they sound great. But I've had so much problems with contests that I can't seem to break through. And with this antenna, the quarter wave ground plane antenna, I'm able to get all the way to Idaho, South Florida, Texas. So that's pretty neat. Then again, like I said, maybe it's the band conditions. So I just wanted to report that was going on. 100 contacts. I've now used 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 amps. 10 amps. Now I've taken a couple of breaks, no more than 15 minutes, maybe like 3 breaks, maybe 45 minutes or so of breaks, drinking something, eating something. So I'm going to come back. We might go somewhere else. We'll see. And I'll report back. Bye-bye. Hey, CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day. This is Whiskey Charlie 0 Oscar. CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day. This is Whiskey Charlie 0 Oscar. CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day. This is Whiskey Charlie 0 Oscar. Welcome back. This is the second day. I still got my quarter wave ground plane antenna outside, but somebody has told me that I'm splattering. And I don't know if that's because the antenna is getting wet on its binding post, but I did put some plastic over it to cover that. I don't, maybe I can lower down the power a little bit, not to splatter too much. I'm not sure what the situation could be. Maybe the mic might be too strong, but it's not. I might use my little Tar Heel instead in this situation, because the weather is really well, in Southern California is really not in the best conditions maybe for a quarter wave ground plane antenna. Maybe the water is affecting its transmission. I don't know. But the good news is that last year I did about 74. Right now I have 167 contacts. I got one contact barely. And I've been here almost an hour now. So there's probably something wrong with that. Maybe using my diamond antenna might be more of an appropriate antenna. So I'm going to do that, see if that makes any difference. A little bit disappointing, but I think the strong surge just passed by. So I'm probably gonna change the antenna, see what's going on, and report back. Okay, it just ended. Winter Field Day 2025. Very, very, very interesting. I received about, I think, 215 contacts, which is my best so far in any winter field day or contest. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration, I think. One of them is location. I'm in a different location. Usually I'm in the beach, but this time I decided to be more inland. The solar cycle, I think, is different. I think it's stronger now. So that might have made a difference. But I think the number one thing that did make a difference was the quarter wave ground plane antenna. And I've been talking about this for a little while, trying to see if a quarter wave ground plane antenna is feasible. And you can sort of see it back there. And I think it went very well. One thing in the previous section, it was really raining really hard, and the radiating element was flapping, and it was twisted around the mast, and there was a stream of water, because I'm in an inclination here, and all the water was streaming down, and somebody told me that I was splattering, and I was really concerned. I asked if he knew how to fix that. I really didn't know, but he didn't either. And so I did a little research. My radio wasn't off tune because I used it previously, like maybe 20 minutes before. The gain wasn't different. Nothing was different except for the strong rain and the mass being, the radiating element being twisted and the water being rushing. So I waited for that to pass the cell, and I untied the radiating element so it'd be straight, and then moved some of the ground plane radials in different positions, and I did not hear anybody else tell me that. And that's another thing too. In this location, I'm wondering if the ground plane is a little bit better than the beach. I don't know. But overall, it did pretty good, because 215. Two of them were digital, and I used a JS8 call. I tried really hard to get some contacts there, and it took me about an hour to get those two in, and to set up the radio and on 20 meters. I did get all three on my, well, actually only one on my HT, the 1.25 meter, but on my FT857D I got 70 and 2 meters. So I got those three. I got 10, 20, and 40. So that's 6, right? So I should get some multiplier maybe. As for the power, I'm using a Bioenno battery. Let's see. So I have 2 of these. This one's the PWBLF 1212A. I have 2 of these beefy ones. I started at 10:30 and it ended at 2. So I had 7.34 amp hours. So if you think about it, it's let's say 11, 12, 13, 14, right? 3 hours, right? Two for each, right? 2, 4, 6, and then another half hour. So yeah, it's approximately on average. This is an estimate. It's probably 2 amps per hour at transmitting all the time. I took maybe 1 break, maybe 2. But not very long, and it did very well. I think now that I think this is my 5th year doing contests, and then mobile. I remember the first time I did it. I think I got 2 contacts on a VHF, ARRL VHF contest, and that was pretty neat. And I used my IC 705 on that, I believe. And as more years went by, I started to be a little more confident, especially with activating photo activations or doing photo activations. I've discovered my voice, the phonetics of the words, and listening more carefully. I think overall it's been helpful. And you know, one thing that did happen, not many people were picking up on what is it, 145 or 146.520, and some people sounded a little bit upset. I'm not sure if that's an LA thing, or you know, some people were even concerned of me using that frequency, which was a little bit puzzling. I wish more people would get involved in answering and just having fun with it. There was somebody in Torrance that picked up, that was very nice, that heard me and said, hey, I heard you, I'm so and so. And I was like, great, I'm doing a contest, and can you help me out? And he was very nice. But ever since I got my license, doing VHF, UHF, I just seen a different type of demeanor. And I'm not sure what that is. It would be nicer if people were a little more friendlier towards those that maybe don't know the proper way of communicating on VHF, UHF. HF, I haven't had that much problems with people in terms of their personality or their demeanor. They I would say 95% of them are very nice. One other thing too, well, I didn't use my little Tar Heel or my Diamond. I thought I was, but I didn't. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I did use my little Tar Heel for 10 meters, 40 meters. I wonder if I did 15. I might have done 15 also. I guess I did 7, right? 7 bands. I was going to say something else. It'll probably come to me. Some of the things that you might... that's it. Whiskey Alpha 7, Foxtrot Alpha Lima, I think. Which is... I think that's the right call sign. I have spoken to him, I think 3 times while he's in the air, like he's on the plane. So that was kind of cool. His suffix, right? FLY. Let's see, what other thing? The storm. The storm was where we are welcoming the storm here in LAX, in the LA area. The Soda Beam mast did hold. I know these type of masts don't hold very well over time. If you leave them there for a year or so, you have to tape it so that the water won't go and ruin it. But it held. It's strong winds. It didn't blow over. The tire mount worked nicely. It would be nice. I think it would be nice for me to have a different setup, maybe like tow hitch. I don't have one in this car. Maybe I should figure that out so I can have the mast back there, so I don't have to carry the this particular mount. Overall, I think the FT857D did a good job. This one now is what, 13 years old, I want to say, or 14. I've noticed now that I'm doing this on this radio, and paying more attention to its sound characteristics, I guess. I don't know. When there's a contest, there's like a blanket of noise, and some people from Idaho, Utah, Texas, when they're coming to me, that wall of whatever it is of people using maybe the frequency adjacent to it, or maybe even the frequency I'm using, it's a very light, they're very light in audio. And why would I say that? Because afterwards, that sound, that overall like noise in the background, just sort of like kind of disappeared a bit, and I was able to listen to other people very clearly. I don't know if that's a characteristic of contests, but I've been noticing that, in that one of the things about being here in Los Angeles doing contests, it's really, really, really hard to break through. I didn't get no one from New York or Connecticut. I was surprised I got people from Florida. So the FT-A570 did very nicely. It also did very nicely with a J-pole antenna that I have for VHF, UHF. I got some contacts on that with 50 watts. This is the first time I used the 50 watts on the FT-A570 on 2 meters. It did very nicely. But again, I guess because Field Day is not really focused so much on, and it is, but it's not on VHF, UHF. Not many people I heard compared to a VHF, UHF contest. So I think I'll be much more ready to do something like that when it is time for that. My laptop. So I've had this for 4 or 5 years now. Got it really inexpensive at, I'll remember right now. It lays flat very nicely. It's a Lenovo. It has this funky cloth back. I think that's why people didn't want it, and it was, I got it for like $300 something. Super inexpensive. I think it's an i5. Yeah, an i5, and it has one USB. I think it's a Thunderbolt USB-C, and it has HDMI out, and it has 2 Thunderbolts. One is for power and the other one is not. I didn't know it had 2. Had audio out, 2 USB 3Cs, and a micro SD card, and the power button messed up, and it fell down one time. But anyway, it lasted me 10 hours, like 10 hours, easily 10 hours. I put it on echo mode, where it lowers down the processor power, but I really didn't need a lot of processor power. And I'm running, let's see, I'm running N3FJP. And I remember when I was first trying to do contests, I was like, I don't need that software. And it turns out it's a very nice piece of software that really is very useful. I didn't understand how to use it at first, but watching a few videos and me doing it after so many years, it's pretty nice. It doesn't do the multiples or the bonuses, which I wish it did, but it doesn't. But it gives you, it gives you also like how far away you're talking, but I don't think that really works very well. Because it was Texas, it was saying it was 500 miles, which I don't believe. Texas is much more than that. What did what states did I contact? A DX station, which I don't know where, but it was a kilo station, so they must have been out of the country. No one regions, no two regions. West Pennsylvania, I got somebody from there. South Carolina, Georgia, South Florida, North Carolina, North Florida. That was very, very interesting. And then I got Arkansas, Louisiana, Minnesota, North Texas, Oklahoma, South Texas, with West Texas, but no Mississippi. And I don't know if I get Mississippi's. Maybe very rare. LAX, of course, Orange County, San Francisco, SJV and SV, San Joaquin Valley, and I'm not sure what SV stands for. Maybe I'll remember. That's and then Arizona, East Washington, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, West Washington, and Wyoming. Not bad. Michigan, West Virginia, Illinois, Indiana, Colorado, Missouri, Kansas City, what's that state? Nebraska. That's all this antenna. The quarter wave ground plane antenna. That's crazy. I wish I can bring up the previous one. I don't think I can. And then BC, British Columbia, NB, or Mike Bravo, November Bravo, ONN TER. I don't think I've ever had a TER. All those are in Canada. I don't think I can bring any of these. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe. Let's see if I can open this. Look at that. Okay, I did. Haha. Okay. All right. So this one last year, I was able to open it up. Okay. So I got 74 contacts. Oh, this is interesting. No DX. Same thing. Region 1, Region 2, no. I got West Pennsylvania. I got Alabama, which I didn't get this time. Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina, North Florida, PR, Puerto Rico, I guess, and Tennessee, which I did not get with this antenna. Arkansas, North Texas, Oklahoma, South Texas, West Texas. That's with the Tar Heel, the little Tar Heel. EB, East Bay, I guess. LAX, Orange County, San Francisco, SV. This is last year. Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, West Washington, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Minnesota, South Dakota, ABBC. Different profile, but I only had 73 in a different location. And it was this car. Interesting. That would be very hard to understand what could be the difference. But 215 is not bad for. Well, another thing too, I think it's 30 hours this year instead of 24. Something to do with back east, people back east needing a little more time. But that's about it. This section of the video is definitely more of what happened throughout these 2 days. Some things to consider now that I'm still able to think. Having food, that was nice. I had things to drink. A Diet Pepsi. Had some chips, had some grapes, guacamole. I had that, hummus, some sandwiches, or there were rolls. So there was food, water, things to keep me. Oh, I had there's a like a meat stick, cheese, oranges, things to keep me busy while I'm doing the work. I think the best time, and this is true last year and the year before. I think the best time is the first day, and anywhere from like 2 p.m. on here on the West Coast. I felt like I did a lot more work. Maybe because 20 meters does very well during the day and the sun is out. Even though there's clouds, I think 20 meters did very well after 2. And I think overall, I did better. This is winter field day, having a jacket, very important. It was raining and cold. Why mobile? Why not at home? I want to challenge myself. And, many of the videos that I have now are mobile. And so, again, I wanted to challenge myself and get more contacts because field day is coming over in June. And I think in field day, I think my best was 110 maybe. I want to do a lot more. And summertime, 20 meters must be doing great. So I'm definitely going to refine my quarter wave ground plane antenna. Maybe study a little more on getting a little more out of it. Still, I think I might be using my FTDX 10, maybe to get those very weak signals that I couldn't get on my FT857D. But you know what? This vintage radio really does kick some butt. And if you find one relatively inexpensive, I think you'll be really happy when you use it. All right. If you have any questions, please put them on the comment section. Please subscribe. Please give it a thumbs up if you like it. Please tell your friends. I hope we get to contact each other soon. This is Frank Whiskey Charlie 0 Oscar. All right. Bye-bye.